Getting set to watch the Bears-Cowboys game with you, TJ Jefferson.
Yeah.
This very weekend is a diehard Bears fan who I have just learned is getting set to run the New York City Marathon.
Yeah, man.
Joining us here on the Rich Eisen Show. Thrilled to have Ashton Kutcher here on the program on the Mercedes-Benz Vans phone line. How you doing, Ashton?
I'm really good, Rich. How are you?
I'm doing, you know what? I'm good. I'm not Eberflus good, though. You know?
Oh, man. Oh, you mean Monday Night Matt?
That's the guy. Monday Night Matt. Yes, sir. You must be fired up, huh, Ashton?
Oh, boy. I have to tell you, it's been a really Jekyll and Hyde kind of season. But Monday, I felt like the whole package started to kind of come together. It was really nice to watch.
It was indeed, you know, and a team that just keeps on keeping on. That's what I saw last Monday. I saw a team that was aggressive, and I saw a team that didn't take any snaps off, but actually put it right on Belichick on a night where he was supposed to be anointed to pass, of all people, George Halas. That was a big night for the Bears. Big time.
Yeah, that wasn't going to happen. The Bears weren't going to let that happen. I mean, we're not going to pass Papa Bear against the Bears. Like, that would have been – I mean, that had to be like a pregame speech in the locker room. There's no question that had to come up.
That had to.
Yeah. You know, the thing about that I was observing was it felt like instead of Fields running from a scrambling position, it felt like they finally sort of flipped over and were like, all right, we're actually going to call run plays for Fields and let him show his athleticism, which also like scares me when, you know, your starting quarterback is like, you know, a core piece of your running game, because, you know, that has a tendency to lead to injuries. But it worked, and it worked on a real level.
Well, I'm gonna counsel you, if you don't mind me doing so, Ashton Kutcher, because I'm a Jet fan and I wear scars as well. Although you've got, you know, trophies in the case that you can remember. I was just barely a twinkle in my mother's eye when the Jets actually won a Super Bowl. That maybe, just maybe, you should view that, what you just said, as a positive, that the coaches are deciding to actually make the playbook about Justin Fields and say, you know what, I may have a playbook that I brought from Green Bay, the OC, Luke Getsy, and you know what, let's make this about Fields in the same way that the Ravens make it about Lamar, and let's ride. Maybe that's what we just saw.
Look, I see it as a positive. I just always get worried that my quarterback's going to get hurt, and then what? You know. So, but look, we it's about winning football games, right? And it's about beating them Cowboys this weekend, and then I get to watch TJ pout for the rest of the week, which is always exciting for me.
Fantastic. By the way, I just had to look up. It's Trevor Siemian who's your backup, and as a Jet fan, I would counsel you against having him in the game. So I do understand what you're saying. Now let's get to it.
You got to be feeling really good about your Jets this year.
Oh,
I mean, this is really something that's happening.
Jets Bears Super Bowl. What do you say? What do you think?
Next year.
By the way, I just heard TJ. Nice. You're like, get out of here. All right, so let's get to it. What does this weekend look like, TJ? What do we have here?
You mean outside of like just a dominant Cowboys victory? What does it look like?
Oh,
like, is that what you mean?
So Ashton, I guess then give me set the scene of what's going to look like for the two of you guys this weekend. What do you got for me?
It's going to be on the couch. TJ's going to be wearing his silly chef's cowboy outfit, I'm sure, and trying to convince my son to become a Cowboys fan, which is never going to happen.
I try hard at
that. You know, we'll be post up. And here's what generally happens is TJ and I will sit there for about 2.5 hours and really maybe talk like a total of like 2 minutes within that 2.5 hours. And just watch the game. We actually won't talk to each other. We'll just yell at the television screen.
Pretty much.
And then my wife will come in and ask why we watch football together because we don't even have a conversation. And then I'll have to explain to her that for us, watching the game is like going to the movies. You don't talk during the movie.
No.
You talk after the movie about what the movie was about. and then that'll be a whole situation. Look, here's what I'm looking forward to in this game. I actually think the two teams are extraordinarily well matched. I think it's going to be a good game. I do worry, though, that the Bears are working on a short week, and it's 2 road games in a row. And I had someone counsel me once that you never want to bet on a team that's playing their second road game in a row because, that's tough. So I'm hoping for the best and expecting the worst going into the weekend.
So what do you make of that that idea, TJ, or that whole, I guess, supposition of what this weekend's going to look like? Is it true you'll sit there and you won't say a word?
Yeah, we generally tend not to. We're two people who are into the game, so we don't talk a lot during a game that's on. We'll just, like you said, let it play. But Coach, Rich is he's kind of interested in where we're going to watch the game. So I told him about the barn, and he's just like, he can't wrap his mind around the barn. So maybe you want to explain that to him.
Well, I mean, my wife and I built a house, and there's a room that is it's a large room in the barn, which is just adjacent to the house, and it's got a very large screen.
Yes.
That will be dedicated to the game. And then there's a bar in the other room. So there's basically a bar and a TV room for, watching the game. So we'll be in there.
So, and again, it's
what do you want me to explain about?
No, by the way, it's a good question. I honestly wasn't going to ask that, TJ, but now that we're there.
You had brought it up many times before.
But now that we're there, I mean, so again, this is just a sort of an aesthetic layout. There's not actually animals in this facility, correct?
There are no. It's like a converted barn.
Very good.
It's a barn that's been converted into like a bar / place to watch.
Beautiful. There's a barn, and then you remove the end. There's a bar in the barn.
In the barn.
But here's what I'm interested in here.
Okay.
Because you're assuming, TJ, this is a Cowboy victory.
Yeah.
No question, right? Like, this is a rollover. Dak was just getting warmed up against the Lions. He got his feet wet. He dipped his toe back in the NFL pool.
Rich.
Now it's going to be like a full-on cannonball for the Cowboys into this pool with Dak back and a bye week coming, and it's all good. What happens, though? Ashton Kutcher, with this whole, you're just watching the game, saying nothing. What if the Bears do lay it on the Cowboys in the same way they lay it on the Patriots, and you're up by like double digits? Third quarter, fourth quarter, and TJ is totally dying inside. Does that elephant in the room get addressed, Ashton Kutcher? Yes or no?
I'm not a rub it in kind of guy.
Okay.
I'm not going to like rub it in and grind it down. Like, I've had enough bad seasons with the Bears now that I'm not here to like rub it in. Here's some interesting detail on the game.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
The Bears have recorded almost, I think, twice as many sacks this season as the Cowboys have. Our defense, and it really looked like our secondary was starting to gel against the Patriots. Now, it did help that they put Zappe in, which I don't know what Belichick was doing. I'm not here to question Bill Belichick, but I'm questioning Bill Belichick. But our secondary looks like it's gelling, and if that secondary is truly gelling, and our front four, although we did just get rid of Quinn, we did just make this trade for Robert Quinn to the Eagles. So I don't, if our front four can create pressure and we can get Dak a little bit, sideways. Look, I like the ground and pound Bears. What will really happen is if we are winning and we're winning like we were winning against the Patriots, I'll just start dissecting why we're winning and why we'll probably not win another game, even if we do win. Because it's like when it's your team, you can't help but dissect why the rest of the season is going to be terrible.
Where are you getting the Bears have more sacks than the Cowboys? What website did you get that from?
Well, I think we have like 27 sacks on the season.
No, we have 29, and you guys have, 12?
No, that can't be right.
See, I think
I'm pretty sure that's right.
I think one of us need to be there on Sunday to arbitrate this thing here.
Like Molly, we need to be in the middle of CA.
Or maybe McCarthy.
Is that accurate data? What's the data? What's the real data? Tell me about it.
Stat Muse.
Oh, that is the data. The Cowboys have 29 sacks and the Bears have 12.
Well, but you're looking at a different stat line than what I'm looking at.
I'm looking at NFL.com team stats.
Here's the deal.
I'm looking at NFL.com. It says the Bears have 27 sacks this season.
Yeah,
I don't
somebody
know.
lied to him.
You've given up 27 sacks.
I think
that's what you're looking at.
I think you're also looking at the 1985 version of the app that never
Probably.
existed. I don't know. It's entirely possible because the Bears are doing things that they haven't done before, like winning in New England. 1985 was also the last.
Throwing the football.
It's unreal, man. So maybe just McCarthy pulls a Belichick and puts Cooper Rush in the game and out of nowhere. Say it was part of the
Let's
plan.
hope not.
Maybe this is what the Bears do to other teams. You never know.
You know, Rich, our entire friendship has been built upon the Bears and the Cowboys. When he and I first met randomly at a bar back in 2001, he randomly sat next to me. He's wearing a Bears hat, and then we started talking, actually yelling about football.
Yes.
That's how our friendship began. And when we lived with each other, it was when Emmett was chasing Walter Payton's rushing record.
Yeah.
So every Sunday, like this Cowboys whiteboard isn't new. I had a whiteboard way back then, and I would write Walter Payton's record and Emmett's record, and I would update it every Sunday morning, and I would sit it right by the TV. So every Sunday we'd watch football. He'd have to see like the Emmett yardage go up and up to overtake Walter, and I know he didn't really like that.
Damn, man, here we go.
But hold on. But the argument was whether Walter Payton or Emmitt Smith. Well, we put Jim Brown to the side. We said, okay, let's put Jim Brown in a class.
We know Jim Brown's there.
Like, who is the greatest running back of all time? This is our first conversation
that we ever had.
Only to be ended by a conversation that we had with Emmitt Smith, where we asked Emmitt Smith who the greatest running back of all time was, and he said Walter Payton.
Well, what's he going to say?
So,
I mean, of course he's going to say Walter Payton. Like, come on. But Emmett knew. He looked at me and he winked.
He could have just said me, but he didn't, TJ.
Because he wanted to be respectful, man. And did Emmett say Walter Payton? Yes. Did he mean it? No.
Excuse me. I've met Emmitt Smith many, many times, and he's no wallflower. Certainly when he's pounding the table for his own accolades, he would have said me if he really meant it. I think he actually meant Walter Payton.
He couldn't have.
That's what I'm saying. TJ, if you ask who the most handsome guy on our fantasy football league is, I'm going to say me. Even though you want it to be you, I'm going to say me.
Fantastic.
Well, now that Jordy's out of the league, it might be you. I don't know. Eric Dane might have something to say about that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Might be. Only one guy in the league used to be a model, and that's me.
Ashton Kutcher here on the Rich Eisen Show. So I imagine, though, whatever lunch might be served, Ashton, you might tap out of anything that's high in calories or not protein or anything like that, because you're training right now for the marathon, the New York City Marathon, Ashton.
Yeah, I have to run this next Sunday, and I was actually thinking about it. It's like not this Sunday, but the following Sunday.
Right.
I'm running the marathon, and it's during the Bears game, and like this is a real problem for me because the actual marathon is like the running of it is during the Bears game, and I don't know what I'm going to do. Like I might have to listen to it's Bears Dolphins, and I might have to listen to that game while I'm running the marathon.
Yeah, it'll get you through it,
so I don't miss the game. But I might. I'm booze free until the finish line next Sunday, and I have to sort of treat my body right. So I'm not going to be like pounding like crazy fried food or anything nuts.
And then you're also you've been having I guess a team following along. Our Future Selves is a series of running content of you getting ready for the New York City Marathon, and this is a fundraiser too, right? How can people get involved to try and raise money? With your run here? Yeah,
so I have a nonprofit that I started. That I've been working on for 15 years of fighting the sexual exploitation of children. And so the nonprofit's called Thorn, and we're at thorn.org, and we build software to help companies and law enforcement find kids that are being sexually exploited. And we've identified over 25,000 kids that are being sexually exploited utilizing our software. And, we just continue to build, the most innovative software in the world to fight, because a lot of these guys and ladies that are abusing these kids, they use pretty advanced techniques, and we have to stay ahead of them and just continue to be sort of a cut above. So we have 100 people that are running with Thorn, that are running the marathon, because at the end of the day, this work is a marathon, not a sprint. We're going to be at it for a long time, and we have to just continue to persevere. And sort of all the metaphor works in this case very well. So if anybody wants to help us out, they can go to thorn.org/Ashton-runs and donate. And so I partnered up with Peloton and for the training of this, and did an interview series while running on treadmills, which I thought would be kind of funny, to help educate people about the sort of why behind the marathon for me, and the why behind why successful people get up every day and do what they do.
Amazing, brother. That is amazing. And what's the time you're trying to get in the marathon, or just finish? You just want to get past that 26-mile mark. What do you got for me?
I started with this just finish idea. Right. And then I started getting cocky, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to be able to do this in like under 4 hours. And then I started getting really cocky, and I was like, I wonder if I could actually qualify for the Boston Marathon with the time that I run this thing. Okay. So I got down to like 8-minute miles at like 15 miles. I was like, you know what? I just have to cut 30 seconds off of each one of those. And I could do it. And then I injured myself, and I started having like bone decay in my knee, and tendonitis. So I've been nursing a weak knee, and I've had to sort of reset the goal back to 4 hours. Okay. And so I'm going to try to finish it in under 4 hours. Okay. I think the average finish for the New York Marathon is 4:36. So I think I could do it in 4 hours.
Well, I mean, I'm a short distance runner usually for charity, Ashton, not long distance runners. But the only thing that I can relate to with the New York City Marathon, coming from where I come from, is running away from Staten Island as fast as I can. So, although
the Verrazano Bridge, baby.
Although that Verrazano Bridge, that is a ridiculous incline. That is a wild uphill start to this race, by the way. So be prepared for that. That's the only thing I can tell you for that.
Here's the good news, is that I have been running in Los Angeles a lot, and my house is up like on Mulholland, and so I run from Sunset all the way up to Mulholland.
Damn!
What is wrong with you?
I don't think the Verrazano Bridge incline is going to be worse than the Sunset to Mulholland.
All right, man.
Right about that.
Yeah, one of those canyons. Okay, very good.
And Rich, also with he and I, we're playing each other in fantasy this year.
Oh my goodness! This week you're talking about.
This week. I started this league back in when I moved here, so our first year was the year 2000.
This is going to be an intense
He's
Sunday in the barn, sir.
He's
I don't care.
7-1 in first place, and I'm in last place.
7-1.
So I'm coming for him this week.
We need some video. We need a live stream. We need something from the barn this weekend, guys.
I'll send something out from the barn.
This fantasy league has been going since we had to pull the first stats out of the USA Today.
Yeah, we started in like 99, 2000. I used to keep tracking a notebook.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love it.
We're like analog OG.
Analog OG.
But he's never won a championship. I've won 3. This is looking like his best chance. Whoa. I used to put it out there, I hope he never win, because he has enough good stuff going on in his life.
How many odds can you water ski behind?
True. But now it's like I'm kind of rooting for him, because after like 22 years, bro, it's like, get this man a title. I'm definitely coming to take him out this week.
TJ, well done. You're only rooting for me right now because you're 0 and I'm 6-1.
By the way, write that down. That's a great fantasy team name.
I don't know you can say that on Roku, man.
Oh man! All right, Ashton. Look, we've been asking all Bears fans to call in, and you're just Ashton from Los Angeles at this point in time. So
Ashton from Cedar Rapids.
Cedar Rapids. Well, at the moment, calling in.
True,
right, Ashton from Cedar Rapids on the Rich Eisen Show. We've been asking all Bears fans to just scream the word Eberflus at the top of their lungs and see how it makes them feel. Would you kindly do that as we send you on for the rest of your Friday, sir?
Pretty good. Well done.
How does it feel? How does it feel?
Oh, well done.
How does it feel?
Oh God, it feels good.
Fantastic.
It's a lot better than.
By the way, in Eberflus, right as maybe you enter Central Park for those final few miles of the marathon, that'll be great.
Eberflus.
If at any point in time you feel flagging on that bum knee, you just scream Eberflus, and that'll get you through. That'll get you through.
If we get a win over the Dolphins, I may well do that. If we win while I'm running, if we beat the Dolphins, you may see some weird guy screaming Eberflus.
I can't wait. Ashton, thank you for the call, sir. Again, what's that website again that people can go and donate to for Thorn for your run?
The easiest just go check out thorn.org.
Okay, very good.
THORN.org.
Thanks for the call, Ashton. You be well and enjoy the weekend.
Thank you.
You got it.
All right, brother.
Take care. Have a great one.
Ashton Kutcher at everybody right here on the Rich Eisen Show. Everybody thinks Elon Musk owns Twitter. That guy created it. Right there.
First to a million.
Damn straight. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern for free.